Hey Fae folk, welcome back to another Disney doll ranking. Today we're going to be taking a look at and discussing my opinions on all of the Disney limited edition Elsa and Anna dolls, which is like really funnily thematic. Hi princess. Hi kitty kitty. I know, meow. You're so cute. When I started doing this series, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll rank all of the Disney princesses, and then I'll do the princes, because, like, that's only fair. That video is going to be coming up. And I'll do Elsa and Anna, because they're extremely popular. Like, they're definitely as popular as the princesses. I did not intend for this to come out, like, in December when it's kind of wintry vibes, but it's very appropriate. So good timing on my part, accidentally, I guess. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. As with all of the Disney princess rankings, just like a little bit of my thoughts on Elsa and Anna. I think they're okay. I don't like have any active like love or active dislike. I will say I think Elsa's design is very pretty. Like I think that she's a very pretty character. I just kind of like don't have strong feelings about them in terms of like their actual characterization. I think Frozen 1 was a fine movie. I have a lot of opinions on Frozen 2. We're not going to get into that today. I don't think it was all bad, but I don't think it was all good either. But yeah, so that's where we are coming from, is a place of mostly not really having a lot of thoughts and opinions, but I'm sure I'm going to have a lot to say about these designs. So buckle up and get ready. It's going to be a bit of a longer one because both of these characters do have several releases. Like they do have a lot of different dolls, but obviously I was going to do them in the same video. Like I wasn't going to do an Elsa video and then an Anna video. They're sisters. They have to go together. So yes, going to be a long one. Going to be hopefully a fun one. As with all of my ranking videos, this is just going to be my opinion. You're obviously completely free to disagree with me. Just please like be chill about it if we don't share the same thoughts. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the rankings. Alrighty, so as with all of my rankings, we are using Procreate, and as with all of my Disney rankings, the tiers are perfect, good, okay, I feel nothing, no thanks, and put it back. So we're going to be starting off with a Harrods exclusive Elsa, but we are going to compare her directly to what is called the Snow Queen Elsa, because these are like almost identical. We had the same sort of situation with the Aurora dolls, where there was like a Harrods exclusive, and then there were like the ones that I guess were just produced by the Disney store, and they were like so close. Those were a lot closer, in my opinion. Those were like, I think only the pleats and the skirt were a little bit different, or like maybe a couple other really, really small things. With these two, you can see that on the Harrods version, there's like rhinestones on the bottom of her skirt, and on this one, you can see that there's one day I will get the layers right. It's not today, apparently, yet again. Anyway, on this one, you can see that there's more like embroidery. So there is a difference more so with this, but they are still like quite comparable, which is why we're looking at them together. So first thing that I need to just get out of the way, this is going to apply to almost every single Elsa doll and quite a few of the Anna dolls as well. Braids are so hard to get right on dolls. And like, I know these designers were sweating over these braid designs, because the thing is on people, most of the time braids, at least like with this like straighter texture of hair, are going to be thicker at the top and then thinner towards the bottom. And that's even like how you see it in the movies. Like if you look at the animated Elsa, her braid is much thicker at the top than it is at the bottom. But with doll hair, because of the difference in scale, that's so much harder to accomplish without the doll like having hairs just like poking out all over the place, or without the doll having like very little hair rooted onto the head. So braids just in general are kind of difficult to do for dolls. Again, speaking specifically of these like whole head braids or like pigtails with like the straighter hair texture, because obviously like curly hair braids is like a different conversation. That's like a different hair type, different fibers and techniques and all that jazz. But like for Elsa and Anna, as we're gonna see, the braids are so just thick at the bottom, and they're very like uniform all the way down instead of being more like tapered like you would see on a person. And it does look silly sometimes. I'm going to try to not hold that against them too much, because that is like not unique to these dolls. That's kind of just a thing. So I don't know why I'm spending so much time ranting about it, but like it's noticeable to me, and it is something that I think detracts sadly from a lot of the dolls. But yeah, it's not like unique to them, so I'm going to try to be nice about it. The other thing, God, I'm never even going to get to start ranking because I'm just going to keep talking about shit. I find Elsa and Anna dolls extremely interesting because, as we've seen going through like the princess rankings, sometimes they're not great at translating the faces of like the 2D or 3D animation to a literal 3D object. And I will say that I think normally the sculpts are fairly decent for the Frozen dolls. But that being said, the art style in the movies is so exaggerated that while I think it looks good in the movies, I do think it's a little uncanny with the doll. So accurate, yes. Frightening, sometimes. Now we can finally look at the Harrods doll. I'm sorry, I'm finally ready to shut up. I know that was a lot, but like, I don't know, I yap, okay? I'm a yapper. So taking a look at her, I don't think that I love the blush, and I say that as a heavy blush person. Like I will have just bright red across my cheeks if no one stops me. I love blush. But I do think it just looks kind of weird on her. Like I feel like that's not a component of her character design, and I don't know. Maybe I'm being picky. I do like the other makeup on her face. Like I think that's all pretty. I do like the like snowflake ornaments in her hair. I think those are really, really nice. I do like how they've done these like more rectangular rhinestones along the bodice of the dress. I think that that looks more interesting. It's not something that you see as much, and I do think that it reads a little bit more like ice to me personally than these rounder rhinestones. I do kind of understand why they switched from the square to the round. And I mean, even up here, you can actually see where they did some blending. Like this one is circular and then this one is square. So like, I appreciate that. And I understand that maybe the squared rhinestones would have looked weirder when they were like not as clustered together along the bottom of the skirt, but I do like the square ones better. I think the cape and like cloak situation, I don't even, like, it's built in. What do you call that? Anyway, whatever that is, like her, it's like a train, but it starts at her bust. I don't know. Y'all know what I'm referencing. I do think that that's cool. I like the blue rhinestones along the top here. I think that's like a nice inclusion to just make it a little extra sparkly. We've got some like glitter and everything, like snowflakes along the base. I think that's all perfectly fine. Ultimately speaking, I think that doll's like fine. That's kind of all I can say. I'm on the wrong layer again. For the Harrods version, we're gonna put her into okay. I don't think she's a bad doll. I just don't like feel that strongly about her. I do think that I like this version better. We still have some of those like squared rhinestones along her bust, which I will highlight once I get onto the right layer. Maybe by the time we get to Anna, I'll like have this shit figured out. But I like the embroidery better. I just feel like there's still rhinestones in there, so it still looks nice and sparkly. But I just think the embroidery being on her actual dress and like the way that it matches with her kind of cape situation is really nice. We also have glitter just all over the fabric of the cape, and I think that looks really, really good because like ice, sparkles, they go together. It looks like she has a lot less intense blush here, and I do like that better. So just overall, I feel like while they are very similar, this is ultimately a better doll to me. Good or perfect? Good or perfect? I don't really have any complaints, which that means like she has to go into perfect. If I am looking at her and I can't find anything where I'm like, oh, I don't like that, perfect. Anyway, moving on. Then we have the Coronation Elsa. This one I'm not as big a fan of, mostly just because I don't like this outfit as much. Like I very much, when we're talking first movie, I like her Snow Queen outfit. I just think it's more visually interesting and more fun. If you like this, that is absolutely dandy for you. Like I understand a lot of that is just my personal tastes. I will say again, like y'all have seen with this series and just in general, I feel like it is so hard to have large portions, bad color, somehow. Somehow the purple's a bad color. Large portions of this satiny fabric that's like unbroken by any sort of design can look so good, can also look so bad. I think I like it less when it's in this like A-line shape. I don't know, I feel like if it's at least got some like pleats to it or some layers or something, it can look better. It does just look a little, like, obviously the doll herself doesn't look cheap because there's other details. There's rhinestones, like the fabric of her cape looks really, really nice here. But just that middle section of the dress, just I see satin like that, or like a faux satin material, and it just reads a little bit cheap to me. Maybe I'm just an asshole though. I think I'm gonna put her in I Feel Nothing because like realistically, I don't have that many thoughts about that. Then we get into the 2015 Elsa doll, and I can't remember when she wore this outfit. Granted, I'm not like the biggest Frozen fan ever, so like maybe I just have forgotten. Was it like the end of the first movie? I truly, truly do not know. I'm not really a fan of it. It just looks really like stiff, and also the way that it's shaped I think is a little bit strange. This fabric, instead of like going out nicely like that in like a true A-line shape, you can see it's tucked in a little bit where they've sewn on like these embroidered panels, and it doesn't look intentional because it's like kind of buckling a little bit along there, and it feels like it disrupts the flow of the outfit. Am I being nitpicky? I don't know, maybe I'm a nitpicky person. Yeah, it's fine. I don't think this is a terrible doll, but that really bothers me with the skirt. I think I'm gonna put her in I Feel Nothing too. Ooh, okay. This is the Frozen Fever Elsa doll. And full disclosure, I've never seen any of the animated shorts for Frozen. I have seen Frozen 1 and 2, but like, I've never seen the shorts. I've never been that invested. That being said, I have seen the design for like at least the Frozen Fever. I think there's a couple in here that I'm unfamiliar with. But I have seen this design and I have hated it since the moment that I saw it. Like, I understand what they're going for. I understand why she has the like purple snowflakes instead of like the normal ones, because they're kind of snowflakes but also flowers at that point. Maybe they are even like meant to be more flowers than snowflakes. I'm not sure. Like, I understand why, and I understand why it's more of a green tone dress because it's like a springtime situation, and like, I understand. I just think it looks bad. I don't think that she looks good in these colors. I think maybe I would be more open to it if this was like a completely new silhouette for Elsa, like if she had gotten an entirely new design. But to me, this is obviously just like her Snow Queen design, but recolored, and I think it's been recolored poorly. So that's what bothers me. If you wanted her to have like a green and pink outfit for spring, like for the Frozen Fever, I get it. I just feel like it would have been better to adjust it more, or better yet, to design an entirely new outfit for her instead of doing just the same outfit but worse. I just think it's ugly. I'm so sorry. I just think these colors are so gross. And I know, I'm pretty sure like Frozen Fever, like half the plot of that short thing is that she's sick. She looks sick. Like, but then it comes down to like, yes, I can see why maybe if you love Frozen Fever, like if you love the short or you just love Frozen in general, or you happen to like these colors, like you would want it. But to me, I'm like, why would you want a doll who is supposed to look, I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit too heated here. Ultimately speaking, everything that I hate about this design is something that I hate about the design like itself, not the doll. The doll is fine. Like, the hair is the same as so many other braided Elsa dolls. The face looks fine. The quality looks fine. So I'm not going to put her in bottom tier because this is so much just my personal opinion and not like any actual critique, but I still think she's ugly. So she's still going to go into no thanks. Next on the chopping block, we have the Fairy Tale Elsa who came with Hans. We are ignoring Hans here. We definitely have like very, very bright rhinestones here. I feel like some of the other ones that we looked at, again, it could just be the angles that the photos are taken at or the lighting that they're taken under, but I feel like these are so bright and so in your face compared to some of the other ones. I still love the shape. I think that this like, it reminds me of shingles, honestly, but it's really a vibe. I really like it. I like the rhinestones in her hair. However, I think that ultimately speaking, this doll is like the same as the one that I put in perfect and very similar to the ones that I put in okay, like these two here. I mean, it's the same outfit, but even with it being the same outfit, I feel like the designs are very, very similar. And I just don't feel super duper strongly about her. I think I'm going to put her in okay as well. Then this is the Fairy Tale variant. So it's like the same thing as the regular Fairy Tale version where it was Elsa with Hans, but this is the D23 version. So it was a little bit more limited. And in this one, we get to see her coronation outfit again. So like all of the same non-feelings and feelings I had about her coronation outfit before hold true. However, there is one thing that is going to bump this girly pop up a little bit, and that is her expression. Granted, she never looked this confident in her coronation outfit, so like it's not exactly movie accurate because very much so when she's in her coronation outfit, she's like more withdrawn, like more sunken into herself, like not so sure of herself, very nervous. But I love this expression for her. She looks sassy, she looks kind of more bold, and I like that. So even though it's not movie accurate, I think it's just more interesting. And also, for some reason, even though it still has the very extreme proportions, it looks a little bit less jarring than some of the other ones that we are gonna see and like kind of sort of have seen. So I think I'm gonna let her go to okay. Then we have the Olaf's Frozen Adventure Elsa. I have never seen anything about Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I've heard the name before. I hate Olaf with a burning passion. I'm so sorry if you love him. Like, that's super duper that brings you happiness, but I would kick that snowman's head off of his body. I cannot handle it. I'm feeling sassy today. This is funny. But yeah, I know the name. I've never seen it. I don't even remember ever seeing any like images from it. Like with the Frozen Fever, I know I'd seen stills from the movie, or like not the movie, but the short. I've never seen this design before. That being said, I actually really like it. I think this is a really pretty design. The sort of velvety material for her dress, I love me some velvet, and I feel like they've actually used it quite well in this design. Her braid, I think, doesn't look quite as terrible as it does in some iterations. The face is a little weird. Something about like the lower portion here feels off. Like I kind of just want to move it up just a tinge, just like a tiny little bit. So there is that, but I just think the outfit itself is really, really nice. I think this darker blue, like slightly desaturated blue, is really pretty on Elsa. I like the embroidery that we're getting with the rhinestoning and like the snowflakes all over the cape. All of that is super, super solid, so she gets to go into good. Next up, we have a Saks Fifth Avenue exclusive version of Elsa, and I think this is really, really pretty. Her hair is so platinum, and thank you. I love it. Like, I haven't really been harping on the hair. There have been a few that are a little more yellowy tinged, like even that last one was like slightly yellow. This is platinum, and I love that for her. I feel like her face looks right. This, too, this is satin that I feel like has been done correctly. Like, it is just a large portion of fabric that is nothing there. Like there's no patterns, there's no embroidery, there's no like rhinestones, there's nothing there. And it doesn't look super cheap. I don't know if it's the silhouette that it's on or if maybe the gradient to the fabric is helping, but it just looks so much better instead of looking like cheapy like that. I just think it looks so much nicer. I really do like the embroidery and the rhinestones that we're getting along the base of the dress. I think that's really pretty. Even too, like the cut of the sleeves and especially like along the bodice here, it's like a very structured garment. And I have noticed that sometimes with these Disney dolls, the garments feel like they aren't fitting correctly. Like they feel like they aren't sitting right on the doll. This feels like it was tailored to this doll. Like it is sitting exactly how it's supposed to. I think this is a vibe. It's kind of simplistic, but like honestly, really solid design. So she gets to go into perfect. I'm halfway through ranking these Elsa dolls and I like just now was like, I should have had Tony here because Tony loves Frozen. Maybe let me know in the comments. Do you want me to do a video where he like reacts to these dolls? I won't do like a whole ranking because that's going to be a lot for him, especially with how many dolls. But like, let me know if you want me to do a video with him where he just like looks at a couple of these dolls and like gets to kind of react to them. Because I think it would be fun to see his reaction since he does like the movies so much. See if he actually likes the dolls too. Anyway, though, back to my thought. So this is the 2019 Elsa from the second movie. So this is kind of like, would you call it her wanderer outfit? Is that it? Like the traveling outfit? I don't really know exactly what you might call it. I want to like this more than I do. I think there are a lot of really good aspects. The entire like outer portion of her coat here I think is really nice. It also gives that same sort of like structured feeling of the last doll that I think is really solid. The belt I think is absolutely beautiful. The boots I think are pretty cool. I don't like the use of sequins in here, which like I understand the snow, the sequins, it makes sense. I just don't feel like it looks quite right. Like something about it is just bothering me. But the bigger thing is her face. Like this girl has absolutely no forehead, but also her head is shaped like a triangle. Like well and truly, I'll trace it better just so I'm not like exaggerating. And it's not like her face shape. Like some people have face shapes that are like slightly more triangular with like their hairline and the way their jawline sits and everything. That's a normal human thing. I'm not like trying to say you're ugly if you have like a triangular face. What I'm saying is her whole head is a triangle. Like it's not like her face has like this slightly triangular situation, but she's got like a normal human head. Like her head is shaped like a triangle. And I find that very strange and extremely distracting. Like it just is really distracting and it takes away from what I think otherwise could be a solid doll. I'm going to bump her all the way down into okay. She gets points for the coat, but like the face is really bad. Ooh, okay, this is the 2021 and I don't know if this is unpopular, but this high-key might be my favorite. I will say I like Elsa's like ice dress from the first movie in animated form better than any of her other looks. That dress is absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. It looks so good in the animation. I do not think that it always translates well on dolls. This outfit, I think, translates so well to a doll form. Like, it just looks so nice to me. I feel like the rhinestones are really pretty. The way the bodice is done with, like, these layers and, like, all of the subtle little colors in there is absolutely gorgeous. And I love the face mold for this. Like, obviously, Elsa's braid is iconic, but having her let the hair down, I will say, God, I'm getting too deep into this. I told you I had thoughts about Frozen 2, and I do. But I will say that I think it is really, really cool that they kept the hair motif going from the first movie. Because in the first movie, when she is at the castle, her hair is like fully done up around her head. And so you see her literally let it down when she starts to kind of come into herself and feel more comfortable with herself, but it's still in the braid. And so then in the second movie, when she becomes the fully realized and fully actualized version of herself, the fact that she loses the braid as well, that is such good storytelling. Like, that is such a good metaphor, such a good motif. I love it. I eat that shit up. So like, yes, is the braid iconic? Yes, I get it. I get it. I get it. But I do really appreciate her hair down moment for what it represents. And I just think it was a really good example of visual storytelling. And I still think she looks cute. Also, her face, the sculpt on this is so much better than that last one that we looked at. Not only because her head is not a triangle, but I just feel like it's so subtle. Like, the sculpting and the screening are so subtle, but you can see the confidence that she has as this version of herself. You can see that she looks more at peace. And I am just really impressed with that. I think it's really, really solid. Like, I understand that this doll maybe is not as visually stunning as some of the other ones, but I just think this is the best like film to doll adaptation. I feel like it's very faithful, very accurate. It really portrays her character well. I am obsessed, so she's going in perfect. Next up, we have the Brittany Lee Elsa doll. So this was a collaboration with a designer. Big thing is the face. Like, obviously there are other differences that we are going to take a look at, but the face is the big thing. I can understand why some people wouldn't like this. Like, it's much more stylized. I get it if that's not your cup of tea. I think this is so fun and so pretty. Obviously not movie accurate, so I can't really like critique it in that way, but I do think that she looks nice with this style. I think it's cute. I like the stripe of blue that she's got in her hair. I feel like that's really cute. And also, they have managed, I think because so much of her hair is like at the bottom of the braid, it kind of like looks a little bit less crazy. So instead of it feeling like, oh, it's so like just so much all the way down, it does feel a little bit more tapered in. And I personally do like that, even though it is slightly less accurate because we have so much hair at the bottom. I think that it looks nice on the doll. So kudos for that. And the dress is so interesting because like there is so much less sparkle. There's a lot less rhinestoning and everything, and it, like less embroidery even than we've seen in other ones. But it feels really solid. I love the colors that were chosen for this. We've got like a slight hint of green here, more of like a purple color here. There's like gradients and stuff. And I do really, really like that just because I feel like ice is clear, you know, like in real life, ice is clear. But when you have so much of it, you can see like different colors in it. And you'll see like these subtle hints of like purples and blues and greens. And so I love the variety of colors we got with this doll just because I feel like it really showcases that element. And the embroidery that we do have is so pretty. Like the lines along her bust is really cute. Like the kind of diamond shapes down here is really lovely. I feel like this is a slightly simplified version of the outfit in the sense that it's less like, bam, sparkles. And I'm a sparkle girly. I love sparkles so much. But even I can admit that this looks really fabulous with minimal glitter. So we're going to go ahead and pop her into perfect. And then lastly for Elsa, we have the 10th anniversary version, which she is going back to like her kind of most iconic outfit, which I get, I do understand. I don't like this version as much. I like the cape a lot. I think that situation is good with, again, like the glitter, the rhinestones, the embroidery, all of that stuff that we've been seeing. I like the slightly smaller snowflakes in her hair. I think that's solid. But the literal shingles on her outfit, on her like bust section, I don't think that looks as good. They aren't rhinestones, they are sequins. And I also, like, I hate that there was not even an attempt at blending. Like, it looks like it might be two separate pieces of fabric. It might connect in the back, but like this portion looks like it's kind of hovering over the skirt. And I don't even know how you would go about kind of doing like a slow tapering off of sequins like this without it look okay, we got so heated. I short-circuited for a second. That's cool. I don't know how you would sew that in like a tapered way without it looking ridiculous, but I just hate how hard the line is there. Like, it just feels so weird to be like, ooh, glitter, glitter, sparkle, sparkle, shiny. Nothing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just mean. I do think her face is fine, and like I said, I do like the cape and the hair. We're gonna be nice. I feel like I was kind of shitting on her a little bit. We're gonna put her into good because I actually don't think it's that horrible. I just don't like that kind of transitionary thing or like lack of transitionary. But yeah, that is going to be it for Elsa. This is a pretty solid ranking. Like, this is pretty good. There's a little bit of negativity in there, a little bit of apathy in there, but overall, I feel like she's got a lot of dolls that, like, I would personally classify most of them as decent and a few that are really stand out. So, like, this could be a lot worse. But let's see if her sister fares the same. Alrighty, so we are starting off very similar to how we started off with Elsa. Same program, obviously, same tiers, and same situation. So we have here on the left am I on the wrong layer again? Oh my god, I told myself I was going to get it better in the Anna one, and I didn't. Anyway, this is the Harrods version, this is the Disney version, and very, very similar. There's, like, you can definitely tell on the skirt, the pleats and, like, the paneling in here, I feel like are thinner on the Harrods one. And maybe the fabric is different. It looks like the green, like, kind of between the pleats is a different fabric than it is in here. Or, again, that could just be the lighting. But there is subtle differences, I guess you would say. This is hard because they are very, very similar to me. But also one photo is so much better quality that I'm like, oh, that looks better. And then in my head, I'm like, but does it actually? Or is that just because of the photo? So it's, like, hard for me to judge. Then we get the 2014 version of Anna. So she's got more of, like, her going out into the snow on her quest to find her sister outfit going on. And I do think a lot of this is really cool. I complain sometimes about, like, the use of velvet and other heavy fabrics when it comes to dolls, just because with the scale, it can be difficult to work with those fabrics and have them lay in a way that feels realistic. But with this one, I honestly really appreciate the use of such heavy fabrics. Like, her skirt here is kind of a velvet. Her cloak looks like it's a very thick, like, material. Even her hat looks like it's a really thick material. Because of the fact that in the movie, she is going out into the snow, into the freezing cold, this feels so appropriate. It looks heavy, but it also still manages to lay fairly well, in my opinion. And it feels appropriate that it feels so heavy. Like, even if it doesn't look quite realistic in the sense that if I had this outfit on, it would lay differently because of the scale. Even though it does look a little bit heavy, a little bit weighty on the doll, I think in this case that works. Like, I'm trying to think. I think like, there was a Rapunzel doll. I can't remember which one. I think it was a fairy tale one who had velvet sleeves. And I want to love that. And I still love that doll so much. But the sleeve, when she has her arm, like, sticking up, like, if that's her arm, it lays like this because it's not heavy enough to, like, weigh down because of the scale. And so it just, like, feels a little bit bulky on some dolls. But because of the situation that this doll is supposed to be in, the bulk honestly really works to actually sell the illusion. That was a really long tangent. I'm so sorry. The only thing that I hate is the ends of her pigtails. What is happening? It looks like they've been felted. Like, it's just very bizarre. It doesn't look like hair. It looks like, I mean, because there's, like, the rubber band here. It looks like if I stuck a rubber band, like a hair tie, around my cat's tail. It just looks a little bit odd. Again, I think I like Elsa's designs better. I said that in the beginning. I don't feel like I can put her in perfect, even though no, you know what? No, nope, nope, nope. No, I'm not. Now I'm, like, third guessing myself. I'm not even second guessing myself. I don't know whether I should put her in good or perfect. Because I did rant so long about how good, like, the fabric usage is on this doll. But I don't like the design just objectively for me personally as much. And I don't like that. We're putting her in good. I have to just be decisive. Be harsh, be decisive. Okay, this one's so difficult. So this is the 2015 version of Anna, and I want to like this so much, but I just feel like it's so odd. I like this design for her. I think this outfit is a cute outfit for her, but I have questions. I like the fabric for the skirt in the sense that it honestly looks like a very interesting texture. And I honestly kind of like how it lays. Like, it is very stiff. You can see how it's, like, popping out like that. It looks quite stiff, but it's kind of a vibe. And if the rest of the doll wasn't the rest of the doll, I think I would like that stiffness. The top portion of her outfit, she is, like, cinched in. Again, with the tailoring on this one, it just feels so much like this was so obviously made for this doll. And, like, all of these dolls, the outfits are made for them. But as I said, sometimes they don't look like that. Like, there was one Cinderella doll, I think it was the Ultimate Princess Celebration Cinderella doll, who looked like she was wearing a shirt that was made for a different doll brand because it was so ill-fitting. This is the complete opposite of that. Like, this looks like it could have been sewn onto the doll. It fits so well. So I love that. Part of this is the posing, okay? But I guess let's get into the hair first. The hair, I think, looks absolutely ridiculous. I want to like it because I think this is such a cute hairstyle for Anna. But again, we have like these weirdly almost felted looking like tips to her pigtails. It doesn't look like hair. Like it almost honestly, like I know I said the cattail thing, it also kind of looks burnt. Like it kind of like looks as though you burnt it and it's halfway melted together and then you just like cut off the worst portion and we're like, okay, that's fine, I guess. That's what it looks like to me. It's really stiff, really rough, really not hair-like in my opinion. So when you combine the hair and the skirt and the pose they have chosen to put her in, she's just stiff, 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 stiff. Like it's just a lot. Maybe I'm being harsh because I do think this is cute. Like the overall outfit I think is cute. I just don't know what is going on with her hair. I'm going to put her in good because like the tailoring especially I think is so impressive. But pun intended, she is on thin ice with that hair. I think I'm funny. Frozen Fever Anna, I hate less than I hate Frozen Fever Elsa, just because I think Elsa looks significantly worse in these colors than Anna does. But that being said, I still don't think this is like a particularly cute outfit. Just for me, it's not something that I really vibe with. I mean, the sunflower embroidery is kind of nice. I like sunflowers, they're fine. But even Anna, like, does she get sick too in the short? I don't know. But she also looks sick. Like the color choices for her face, she just looks less lively, less bright than normal. I don't know. Also, hold on. Hold on. Has she had her hair streak in any of these dolls? Am I crazy? Like, I definitely don't think I see it in these two. But I don't think I see it in the first two either. She should have that already, right? I'm forgetting everything in Frozen. When does she get her hair streak? Because I thought she always had the one hair streak and then it got worse. Hold on, I gotta do some fact checking real quick. Okay, after 2 Google searches, I have realized I was just incorrect. She gets her hair streak after she gets hit in the heart by Elsa, not like, I thought it was when they were kids, but no, incorrect. It's after she like finds her in the ice castle, and then by the end of the movie, it's gone. So like, why did I think I knew better than Disney? I don't know. None of these dolls are supposed to have the hair streak because, you know, by Frozen Fever, she would be cured and everything. So that's my bad. I just like, got tripped up for a second. Anyway, back to actually looking at this doll. Much like the Frozen Fever Elsa, so much of this negative feeling that I have is just my opinions, but that is what we are here for today. So she gets to go to no thanks. Like, I get that objectively she's probably not a bad doll, but I just don't think she's pretty. Okay, then we have the fairy tale with Kristoff, who does have the hair streak and should have the hair streak. Oh, I'm so silly. This is hard because I definitely like the fabrics less, like the fabric of her skirt and the sleeves, especially on her shirt, like that. That is rough to me. Rough fabric choices. Again, what is going on with her pigtails? What are they doing? They did not do that to Elsa. I don't know what is happening. Like, I understand that they're trying to make it like nice and thin, like the way a real person's braid would look. Like if I braided my hair, it would be like all thin at the bottom like that. But they didn't do it with Elsa. And also it looks really silly to me. I understand what they're going for. I just don't think it looks good. Anyway, though, love her face here. This is like such a sweet expression, such a cute face, such good colors for her makeup and everything. I love that. I like the scene that it's coming from. So this is why it's so hard, because looking at the doll herself, I'm like, don't love the fabrics. The clothing looks a little bit less well fitted. But this is so cute. Like as a set, this is really cute. But I'm not supposed to be looking at it as a set. I think I'm going to put her in okay. Because it's a cute moment and she's got a good face, but I don't like the outfit. Then we have Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I don't think I like this as much as I like Elsa's outfit from this short. It's not bad. I like the color a lot, actually. Like this very pale blue velvet is super, super pretty. I think her face is fine. I really don't have any concrete complaints. I just feel like I don't like it that much. I'm going to put her in I Feel Nothing. Next up, we have a Saks Fifth Avenue. I almost called her Elsa. Anna. Saks Fifth Avenue. Anna. I don't remember when she wears this either. I think is this the beginning of the second movie? I think that might be it. I think I might be right about that. Yeah, I have almost no emotion whatsoever about this. It looks like it's well constructed enough. The fabrics look fine. I just genuinely see this doll and I feel literally nothing. So she has to go into I feel nothing. Even though, like, I get it, she's a good doll. She looks solid. I don't personally vibe. The 2019 version, I really like this. Probably helps that she doesn't have those weird burnt edge thingies with her braids, like her hair's more down. I think that looks good, but I also think the fabric usage is so nice here, and like just the little details that get put in, like her like belt slash sash situation here looks really solid. They also gave her a closed fist hand mold on one hand, which I feel like is really kind of nice for the moment that this is supposed to be portraying. Like she's very determined, she wants to help her sister, she wants to stay with her sister, like she's nervous about the bond that they've finally formed being kind of pulled away. Like I feel like there's a lot of emotion just in that kind of gesture that she's got going on. I also like the face sculpt. I do think it's slightly less movie accurate. Like she looks a little bit, her eyes are not quite wide enough. But I feel like it also portrays that, like, in the first movie, most of the movie, she's extremely innocent, like well intentioned, but doesn't really have the capability to realize that not everybody is a good person or like sometimes bad things happen or sometimes negative emotions happen and like you have to deal with them. You can't just like ignore them or whatever. So I feel like the face sculpt here, while it might be a tad inaccurate, just again, I think maybe the eyes are like a little bit too small for the animation. I feel like it really does a good job of portraying the growth that she has as a person by the second movie and like the human being she is by the second movie. So I think that's solid. Everything looks fairly simplistic. Like there's not a ton of detail on here, but it looks good. She gets to be our first one to go into perfect. Then we have the 2020 Anna doll, who I don't think I've given a spoiler alert for any of these videos. Whoops, spoiler alert. This I think is from the end of the second movie, if I'm recalling correctly, when she becomes the queen. And so like this is her as a queen. I'm so torn because I do think it is objectively a nice looking doll. I think again they have really nailed the face with this doll because she looks like she has grown enough to be queen and be responsible as queen. She looks very mature and I love that for her. I just don't like the design as much. I just don't think it's as fun. So because of that, I think we're going to put her into good because like objectively that's a solid doll. I just have feelings. Then we have the Brittany Lee Anna doll. And I think this is really cute. Like this is definitely very different to the like Disney only dolls and most of the Frozen dolls. But I think it's really cute. I especially like the pom-poms, like on her boots and then along her headband. I think those are really pretty. Were there, I think there might have been really, really tiny pom-poms on the Elsa version. I literally looked at it like, what, 15 minutes ago, tops, and I've already forgotten somehow. But I like the really big pom-poms for Anna because again, at this point in her character development, she's like very innocent. And I feel like people kind of associate pom-poms with like kids clothing or like kids crafts, like that sort of thing. So I feel like it's a good look for her to have these big pom-poms very prominently displayed in her design because it shows that innocence. I also think the silhouette is really interesting. Having this like underlayer of her skirt be so much smaller than like the big bell over portion of her skirt, it doesn't look bad to me because it is very clearly intentional. We have seen some dolls that have a similar silhouette to this. Like I think there might have been some Belle dolls. Bell-shaped bell. Anyway, I think there might have been some Belle dolls that kind of sort of had this, but it was very obvious that it wasn't on purpose. It was just kind of how the fabric ended up laying. This is part of the design, and so I end up liking it more. I think this is really solid still. She's going to go into perfect. And then lastly, we have the 10th anniversary version of Anna. So again, this kind of most iconic look for her. The hair looks slightly less insane. Like it's still a little bit weird, but it's not so like tufted and awkward. I also love the inclusion of these smaller braids running through her big braids. Like that's just actually so cute. I love that vibe for her. The detail I think looks really good, the embroidery and everything. Again, the fabric of her skirt looks heavy. This time it's pleated, like they don't have the two layers to the skirt. They just have like different pleats and then it's like this embroidery section down here kind of gives the illusion of the two layers. But honestly, I'm not bothered by it. I think it looks solid and the fabric looks like real nice and heavy. Her cloak looks good. I don't have any qualms about this, aside from the hair a little bit. Again, it's not necessarily my favorite outfit. I think, no, you know what? No, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna put her in perfect. You know what took me over the edge is the braids, the double braids in her hair, like the braid on the braid. That's really cute, and I like that a lot. So that is everything for Anna. Okay, my camera died, even though I literally just charged it. So I'm hearing you, universe. I need a new battery pack. I understand. So I have to be really quick because I literally just plugged it in for like half a second so that I could do this. So this is the final ranking for the Anna dolls. I think this might be like one or two dolls less positive than the Elsa ranking, but still it's a pretty solid one. Overall, my like gripes with these dolls are either realistically relatively minor, or it's just the fact that I didn't really love the design to begin with. And at that point, like, if I didn't love the design and the animation, I feel like it is already so hard. Like, it's an uphill battle to make me then like it on the doll. So for those facts being true, I feel like this is still a pretty solid ranking. So good on the Frozen sisters for having pretty good dolls. Okay, Fae folks. So the horrible state of my camera battery is forcing me to do a like visual-less outro. That's not a word, but we're going with it. So I am sorry, but like, you saw a decent amount of my face today, so hopefully you'll be okay. And you'll see more of my face next time. But yeah, that is it for the Elsa and Anna rankings, which does round out like really the princess and princess adjacent rankings. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am still going to be doing a ranking of all of the princes because like we have seen a lot of the images for those like dolls and characters in the course of doing the princess rankings, and I feel like it's only fair to give them their time to shine as well. So that will be the next ranking video that comes out. And then as I mentioned in my last princess ranking video, I do have an extra video, like a super secret fun video that is kind of related to this series that I plan on releasing soon after the prince ranking. It might, if I can get it done, I'll do it like right after. We'll see. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. It's kind of funny. I am so excited. I'm so hype about it. I spent so much time preparing for this video and I'm still working on preparing for this video. Like I'm not done with it, but at the same time, I'm so unbelievably nervous for this video. So it's going to be an adventure one way or another. Definitely keep guessing. A couple of you guys guessed in the comments of that princess video when I first mentioned this secret video idea. And no one's landed on it yet, so keep guessing on what it is. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I got to stop yapping. I'm not even like on camera and I'm sitting here blabbing my mouth off. So I hope you were able to enjoy the video today, y'all. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be. And I hope you are having a happy holiday season so far. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.